Hey everyone, it's Adam Mitchell here, and we are back with another recap. Today is Monday, October 3rd, 2022, first day of the new month, and it seems like there was some pretty good momentum this morning. And also, I know that I didn't post a video on Friday. I wound up losing, I think, like $22. You know, I was just exhausted, and I was honestly just really annoyed with how I traded because, you know, there was another situation where I held past my max loss. I was up like $30, and then I was in a trade and I was down 20. I didn't want to cut it, and it just, as always, it just got bigger and bigger. And I wound up selling it, and then I ended the day down like $25 or something like that. So yeah, you know, that was Friday, and now here's Monday, and we're ending the day up $63. So look at that. I hit my profit target. I'm really happy with that. Of course, there was money that I left on the table. There were like some really good setups that I didn't take. You know, it looks like October may be a really good month. You know, hopefully October's a really good month. Hopefully the overall market is going to make a bounce off of these levels, and we're going to see some positive momentum to the upside with the overall market, and that's going to trickle down to the small caps. And, you know, hopefully October is just a really good month. So, all right, let's get into today's trades. So I traded like 6 different stocks: ATXI, BEAT, CSCW, FNGR, LVWR, and WLDS. So yeah, let's get into the trades that I took this morning. So yeah, so one of the first trades that I missed was on LVWR. I had this line drawn out, this support line, because it's clearly holding up support at this level, and I didn't buy it, and I was considering buying it as it was breaking over the 20 moving average was when I was considering buying it, and it squeezed up, you know, from about 950 would have been the approximate entry. It squeezed up all the way to 1050 by the open. So, you know, that was a trade that I missed. But let's get into my first trade that I took. All right, first trade that I took was on a dip off of these levels at 1050. It dipped down all the way down to like 940. I got in at 948. And now I'm just looking for this thing to pop up a bit. I didn't hold it for very long. I wound up selling it. It squeezed up a little bit more, and I sold it, and I made $18 on that. All right, CSCW. Okay, so CSCW, I can see that it's holding this support level here at 144. You know, we've got this double bottom on this thing. And when I recognized that we had this level of support, I mean, yeah, I kind of broke through a little bit, but we have this support here. I recognized that, and I bought it. I bought 200 shares at 143, 144, and now I'm looking for this thing to come up and test 150. So we're getting a little bit of a squeeze up, and I'm just like, come on, let's just get that bigger squeeze. And then, you know, we can see right in that candle, you know, we got a pretty nice squeeze up. Here, I'll press play on that. So here we go. So I'm selling a little bit right there for some reason. I don't know why, but I sold a little bit right up here at 148. And then it really popped up, and I sold the rest up here. And, you know, as we can see, it sold off of those levels. But CSCW had some really good opportunities, and I didn't capitalize on all of it, but I got some of it. You know, we'll see what happens as the morning goes on here. So yeah, I made $14 on that trade. So now I'm, you know, up, I think like $32 on the day. So I'm like halfway to my profit target. So I'm like, all right, we're taking some decent trades here. Let's see what happens. So here's a trade that I missed on CSCW. So we had that breakout, and now we're pulling back. And now we have the same situation that we had back here, where we have this level of support at 150, right? It's this clear level. You know, it's the lows of these candles, and it's the $0.50. So it's like we have all that support right there, and we can visually see that. And I was considering buying it, but I'm like, I don't know, like these dip trades that, you know, once you get it above VWAP, the dip trades above there just for some reason really kind of get me nervous, because I'm like, I don't know, it could really just pull back even more, like through VWAP again, and maybe establish a higher low below VWAP, and then make another curl up. So these dips above VWAP, I get kind of nervous about, you know, especially the last few months, I think. I don't know, maybe I should just start taking them again. But yeah, let's see what it did. it's holding up, and then, you know, we can see that it's getting a squeeze. Hold on, let's see. But yeah, like I don't necessarily have the footage of this pop up right here, but we can take a look at it later. But this did wind up making a nice squeeze up into 160 and through 160 actually. So that was profit that I missed. But let's see what my next trade was. All right, so BEAT. So we got this rip up, and I'm keeping it on watch for maybe a potential pullback. And right there, we got a nice dip. And I got in with, here, I'm going to press play on this. So I'm looking for this thing to make a pullback into support down here, you know, maybe around 430. And what's interesting about this trade, you know, what's annoying about this trade is that when I hit sell, I was up $30. Okay, so here we go. We got a nice dip. So there we go. I just bought it. And what's annoying is, you know, you can see that I'm going to be up $30 when I hit buy. So I'm up 30, hit sell, and I'm only up 12. That's annoying, dude. So that was unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know, that's what happens sometimes. And, you know, the spreads are obviously really big on this right now. You know, it's 440 by 430. But so, you know, there we go. I stacked up just a little bit more. I think I'm up about 45 on the day now. Let's see what my next trade was. Man, ATXI, this was a trade that I missed. I was looking at it right here. We came into all this support. We're holding up at 13. We're holding up at the 20 moving average. And I was like, all right, this is looking good. But I was just hesitant, and I decided to not take it. Because off of that level, I mean, I don't have the footage, but off of, okay, here it is. Off of that level, man, this thing really ripped up nicely. Of course, I'm like, man, that would have been another good trade. I missed it. That sucks. But, you know, it's Monday. You know, there's some good momentum, and I'm making some gains. And so I can't be too mad about that. But in the future, I just, you know, just as I'm getting better and better as time goes on and my experience increases, and it's like, I don't want to be missing these trades. I don't want to be looking into the eyes of a nice trade that I feel good about, that I feel confident in, but still too scared to actually take the trade. Like, I don't want to have that happen, because I recognized in the moment that this was going to be, you know, this could be a potential place that it's going to bounce up from, and it was. So, all right, on to my next trade. Yeah, this is CSCW here, right? How we had this breakout and went all the way up to 163. It was holding support at 150. And it's like, as soon as you recognize that a stock is holding support, you want to buy it, right? Like, just like what happened a few minutes ago on BEAT. I'm about to pull that up actually. And I just want to show you the opportunity on it. So, you know, because it's the same opportunity that I was just looking at, where we have this very obvious level of support. I mean, even right here, okay, we have this obvious level of support. You know, you could be buying it at these lows, and then it rips up, and now it's really ripping up. And then look at this. We have another level of support that you could recognize and then buy into it. And then boom, we get a nice rip up. So, you know, that's part of my strategy, is being able to recognize these levels of support and then buying it as soon as I recognize it. So, you know, I was taking a few scratch trades throughout the morning. I'm not going to go over all my little ins and outs. I'm just going to capture like the main ones that I want to talk about. So yeah, like this one right here, WLDS. So what do we have again here? Very obvious level of support. We have a triple bottom right here at about 118, and it's the 200 moving average. So I'm like, okay, we have a level of support, and we're still in the beginning of this move here, to where, you know, it's not unreasonable to expect a squeeze up, right? So I'm like, okay, we have this level of support now. Let's see what we can do here. And then, you know, fast forwarding, you know, we can see that it broke through that level of support. But we have this level of support down here, 114. So I'm thinking, all right, we're going to come down into that level. Let's see if it holds up there. And, you know, fast forwarding, it comes down into that level. I'm still holding on to this trade. I've got a total of 200 shares at 117. And, you know, I'm thinking that off of this level, you know, this will be the level that it curls up from. So we're making a little bit of a bounce up right there. and we were making more of a bounce up, but I'm still not really in the green all that much. I do have a profit order to sell half if it comes up into VWAP, but I really was looking for this thing to squeeze up to like 145, right? 145, 148, which it ultimately wound up doing. But I was trading these lows here, just, really trying to get a good position at the lows. Like that's what I do, right? Like I identified the lows, I identify areas of support. I want to be getting in at those levels. And so yeah, that's what I'm attempting to do here, is to get a good position at the lows. So then right in this candle, we can see it's selling off. It's coming back into that support level. So I just go ahead and sell it. And what's interesting is that, this level is 115 here. This is 121. This was, I guess, the range, right? From 115 to 121. It comes up into the 200 moving average. Traders are taking profits. They're selling. They're going short. And then they're buying back down here, right? So I'm just not really in sync with the move right now. But technically, I should still be in this trade, right? I should still be in the trade until it really shows me that it's not going my way. But yeah, let's see what happens throughout the morning here, and let's see what this stock winds up doing too and how I traded it. All right, so looking forward to WLDS, we can see that we're coming up into 124 now. And I'm taking a position up here, which is not ideal, but I'm thinking, all right, it's been a hot morning. Maybe the breakout will work, right? Because this is a breakout trade. In breakout trades, you expect to break and then it just squeezes up even more, right? So I'm getting in at what I think is the breakout spot, and I'm waiting for it to really squeeze up. But in all reality, I should still be in this trade off of these lows at like 115, right? I was in 200 shares at 117, and I should still be in that trade. But it dropped. It dropped into support, and I sold it because I'm like, oh crap, it's gonna break through support, but it didn't. I should still be in this trade right now. But instead, now I'm getting in with 300 shares at the breakout spot. Not ideal. It's not ideal. I should maybe be adding some at the breakout spot, right? But I don't know, man. All right, let's see what happens here. I'm waiting for it to break out. So we're not getting the break when I want it. And so I went ahead and jumped back out. And then we could see that it popped up again, up to 128, and then it backed off again. And I'm getting back in with 300 shares at 125, because I'm thinking that, all right, this thing is proving itself. It's holding up. Let's see if it can really squeeze. So I went ahead and sold it again. This is just that jumping in, jumping out stuff that I was talking about. And, but we can see here that it's making its way up, right? It's making its way up. It's now hit a high of 132. And I'm just like, dude, come on. You were in at 117. You had the best entry down here at 117. You just got to hold them. Okay, so let's fast forward here even more to my last trade on WLDS. So we got this breakout, went all the way up to 132, and now we've pulled back. And I took more ins and outs in this area here, because we're holding up at support at 125, but we're also coming into all this resistance at 128. And so I kept getting in and out, and I wasn't really making anything or losing anything. It was pretty much break even. And so I'm thinking that if we get the break of 128, then we could really get a squeeze. And so that's what I'm planning on, right? And I ultimately want to hold it up into this level here at 144. But is that what I do? No, I still got to work on that. I still got to work on holding stocks to my profit target, or to a price that is logical, right? Into a resistance level, into a moving average, or into VWAP or whatever, right? Like I need to work on selling at specific prices. Let's see what happens. So we get the break, okay? We get the break. I get in with 300 shares at 128. So we're getting a push up. We're now at 131, but now we're coming up in the high of day. But I'm really thinking that we're going to get the break of high of day. So I'm still holding this thing. So we start to push up a little bit more, up into 135. I took some profit. I sold half at, I think, 133, 134, something like that. And, you know, we're making our way up into this line here, right? But I go ahead and sell it. I mean, I sell the rest. I sold the rest right here. I'll press play on this. So it's squeezing up, and I'm like, man, I'm up like 20 bucks almost, and I sold half. And now I'm like, all right, let's hold this thing, see if we can get that bigger squeeze. And right here, as this next candle forms and starts dropping off, I went ahead and sold it because I was like, man, we're about to get a big pullback. And, you know, let's see what it does. It squeezes up, squeezes up, squeezes up. It squeezed up all the way to this upper limit here. So that's profit that I left on the table for sure. I was in at the best price again, right? And, you know, I was getting in at these dips also, but it was coming up into resistance, and then it was selling off back into support, and I was just cutting it. But I got the breakout. I just didn't hold it. Again, something that I need to work on. But yeah, that is all of my trades from the morning, ending the day up $63. I landed in my profit target. I took a lot of good trades. I could have held some of them longer. I also missed a few good trades. I mean, this could have easily been a $100 day, you know, maybe more than that. But I'm still working on that consistency of getting to my profit target. So, you know, we'll see what the week brings. Hopefully it's more of today, right? Hopefully it's more action like we saw this morning. You know, those are the trades. And again, if you guys like these recaps, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and leave a like. And I will see you guys in the next video.